That of course is the Prime Minister leading the celebrations, leading this honoring of 1000 years since the first invasion by Mahmud Ghazni in Somnath. He's leading this procession in order to honor all of those warriors, all of those Indians who laid down their lives in protecting the Somnath temple, and today it stands rebuilt as a symbol of not just India's history but of India's resilience as well. You can see the massive procession underway. These of course are the 108 horses that are we learnt are participating in this Shaurya Yatra for the Prime Minister. 108 horses that have been brought in order to take part in this very significant ceremony that is taking place, and you can see those devotees ahead of the Prime Minister's cavalcade as well, waving the damrus in the air, honoring Lord Shiv, and the Prime Minister waving to the massive crowds that have gathered to witness these celebrations. The live visuals on your screens from Somnath. The Prime Minister will offer prayers at the temple as soon as this Shaurya Yatra concludes. But for now, we see him engaging with the people over there, and we'd earlier seen the massive crowds that have gathered in order to also take part in the Somnath Swabhiman Parv, marking a millennium since the invasion of the Somnath temple. That of course is what you see unfolding before you is the grand procession. This is known as the Shaurya Yatra that is taking place as the Prime Minister has arrived at the Somnath temple. So what exactly is the significance of this yatra? We'll take you through that. So now this Shaurya Yatra is especially observed in Somnath and during the Somnath Swabhiman Parv, that of course has been marked by the Prime Minister's visit. Now it is a ceremonial procession that is organized to pay homage to the countless warriors and defenders who sacrificed their lives protecting the Somnath temple across centuries of invasions and challenges. So of course we know that this event marks 1000 years since the first invasion by Mahmud Ghazni, and this entire procession that you see, it is a way to honor all of those Indians, all of those warriors who laid down their lives while trying to protect the temple from the countless attacks that it has seen over its very long history. again on your screens people engaging in the traditional dances as part of the welcome of the Prime Minister, and we saw those the Shaurya Yatra that is underway, 108 horses. Now what exactly is the significance? So this is a symbolic procession involving 108 horses, the number 108 of course being sacred in Hinduism. Meanwhile, the horses represent bravery, sacrifice, courage, as well as the warrior spirit of India's ancestors. The word Shaurya of course signifying bravery and often used to make reference to warriors. So you can see that symbolic procession currently underway on your screens right now, with the Prime Ministers leading. I have with me Mr. Mithun Vijay Kumar, who is an author and political analyst, joining us as we track these very important developments. Sir, thank you for joining us this morning. We are of course currently witnessing the Prime Minister leading the grand celebrations for the Somnath Swabhiman Parv. How do you see this marking of this very important milestone in India's history?
Hi, Malvika. I think that, one of the greatest changes in the history of India itself, because as Modi is visiting Gujarat, he's not visiting a state, he's actually reconnecting us with our soul. And look at what is happening in Somnath and Rajkot this week. It's a powerful message to the world that, India is no longer a nation that forgets its history or doubts its future. So exactly 1,000 years ago, we know that, in January, an invader, although he could not break into that, he broke the stones of Somnath. But he was wrong. Today, the Somnath Swabhiman Parv is a slap in the face of those who thought our culture could be erased. And under Modi's leadership, we aren't just celebrating a temple, we are celebrating Swabhiman, self-respect. And we see that the 108 horses of Shaurya Yatra and thousands of drones lighting up the sky with Om Mantra. We are telling our children that this is our heritage, be proud of it. And Modi often says it, because it's be or Virasat be. So development along with heritage is the motto that we are putting forward, and it's a great step.
Of course, and this is being called the reclaiming of India's civilizational history and its civilizational memory. Do you agree with that sentiment? How do you view the Somnath temple and its its reconstruction, and today the marking of the Somnath Swabhiman Parv? How do you view that as part of India's civilizational heritage?
We are reviving our civilization, and under Modi's leadership and under this government, we have seen that a lot of civilizational damage that was done has been restored. Those memories of the great the spiritual things that we had in the past. It's being restored, and it doesn't stop at spirituality. Also, our leadership understands that a strong soul needs a strong body, and while Modi is bowing in Somnath, he's also opening the doors of prosperity in Rajkot. So the vibrant Gujarat regional conference, bringing the vibrant model to every district. He's announcing, a lot of projects as well. So we are talking about everything, like solar dividends plus cultural revival. All these things are happening parallel, and this is like a huge vision in progress, is what I see.
Absolutely, sir. And how do you view the significance of the Somnath temple, and when we see the Prime Minister of the nation engaging in the marking of 1,000 years since the first invasion, and honoring the long history, and not just the history but honoring all of the warriors, all of those Indians who laid down their lives in trying to protect this temple through all of the attacks that it has witnessed throughout its history. And we see many traditional processions, we see many traditional things such as this Shaurya Yatra that is underway. So, a way of honoring our age-old traditions.
Definitely, it's a long pending thing is what I see, because none of the governments of the past have done it properly. And definitely under Modi ji, what we are seeing is a cultural revival plus honoring our past, respecting our past, respecting our culture. And even not just us, even the world is looking towards us. And tomorrow, I believe the German chancellor is also coming. So think about that. The leader of Europe's largest economy is coming to Gujarat to fly kites with our Prime Minister at the Sabarmati River. So this is because the world knows that the road to future goes through India. And from all this, what we can conclude is that India is going to new heights, and under Modi ji's vision and leadership, we are scaling to new heights and new paths, while at the same time honoring and respecting our culture.
Well, sir, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us and sharing your perspective on the broadcast. But let's in fact cut across to some of the celebrations underway in Somnath.